It's time yet again for another horror book unboxing, or unbubble wrapping, as the case may be. Well, it's true. Somehow, it's already March of 2024, and as such, I've just received the March 2024 Nightworms care package. The Nightworms people every month send us one of these wonderful little black packages filled with 2 horror books and some other assorted goodies. And in case you don't know, if you haven't been around this channel before, I like to open them up here on video and show y'all at the same time as I discover whatever I've got inside. So that's what we're doing now. I'm gonna very carefully slice this open, and while I'm doing that, let me just remind you, there will be purchase links for these books down in the What's It, in case you're interested in getting a copy of either of these books for yourself. That's also where you can buy my books and find out about my various other projects and all the things that help support my work here on this channel, all of which is, of course, very much appreciated. But I've got it open, so let's dig right in and see what the Nightworms people have sent me this March of 2024. I can see, looking at the edge, we've got a hardcover and a paperback. I'm going to pull the hardcover out first, and it is a book entitled The Haunting of Velkwood by Gwendolyn Keist. I have not read this book. I don't know anything about it. I have read the author before, and her work has impressed me in the past. One of hers that I read a couple years ago was called The Bone Weaver's Orchard, and that one I do very much recommend. Hopefully this one will be perhaps not along similar lines in terms of plot or character, although it would be fine if it were, because that was a good book, but hopefully it will at least be similar in the sense of being similarly good. Let me read the description on the flap here, and we'll see what we're actually in for with this story. It says, a suburban ghost story about a small town that trapped 3 young women who must confront the past if they're going to have a future. The Velkwood vicinity is the topic of occult theorists, tabloid one-hour documentaries, and even some pseudo-scientific investigations, as the block of homes disappeared behind a near-impenetrable veil that only 3 survivors could enter, and only one has in the past 20 years until now. Talitha Velkwood has avoided anything to do with the tragedy that took her mother and 8-year-old sister, drifting since then from one job to another, never settling anywhere or with anyone, feeling as trapped by her past as if she was still in the small town she so desperately wanted to escape. When a new researcher tracks her down and offers to pay her to go back to enter the vicinity, Talitha claims she's just doing it for the money. Despite all the crackpot theories over the years, no one has discovered what happened the night Talitha and her estranged former best friends Brett and Grace escaped their homes 20 years ago. Will she finally get the answers, or is this just another dead end? So it seems like we've got some mystery going on and also something supernatural. We seem to have a sort of a disappearing a town or village, which is always an intriguing premise. It's been done a few times before, but not as much as you would think the horror genre would do with that kind of an idea. So I'm excited to read a new one. Like I said, I've read this author before and have been impressed, so I'm pretty excited about this first offering. I will be digging into this one soon. And the next one we have is a paperback. This one is called Forgotten Sisters. This is by Cynthia Palaio, who I've also read and enjoyed in the past. And as with the other book, this is not a particular title that I know much about. But like I said, I know the author, so I'm fairly excited already on that basis. But let's read the description and see if we can get even more excited based on what this particular book is about. This one says, one embraces the dread, the other is looking for escape. Sisters Anna and Jenny live in a historic bungalow on the Chicago River. They're tethered to a disquieting past, and with nowhere else to go, nothing can part them from their family home. not the maddening creaks and disembodied voices that rattle the old walls, not the inexplicable drownings in the area, or the increasing number of bodies that float by Anna's window. To stave off loneliness, Anna has a podcast spinning ghostly tales of Chicago's tragic history. But when Anna captures the attention of an ardent male listener, she awakens to the possibilities of a world outside. As their relationship grows, so do Ginny's fears. More and more people are going missing in the river. And then two detectives come calling. They're looking for a link between the mysteries of the river and what's housed on the bank. Even Anna and Ginny don't understand how dreadful it is, and still can be, when the truth about their unsettled lives begins to surface. And I gotta be honest with you, this one sounds really good too. They sound quite different, these two books, but these characters sound interesting to me. I like these two sisters, and one of them has the podcast, and she's talking about historic, whether actually ghostly tales about haunted histories, or whether she's just talking about sort of tragic histories, or maybe some of both. That sounds like the kind of podcast I would listen to. It's certainly the sort of thing that I read a lot about and spend a lot of time thinking about. I've written about that sort of thing, about Denver, not much more than Chicago, but it's an interesting thing. And then that you take these characters and put them into, I don't know if we want to say it's a ghost story. I don't know if it is a ghost story, but a mystery for sure, possibly supernatural, some weird things going on. Sounds great. So my preliminary thought on this Nightworms package, obviously having not read either of the books, is it seems like they've delivered a pretty good package this month. But as you know, if you've been around for a while, we're not quite done. There's also this little goodie packet that doesn't contain any other books, but there's always some good stuff in here. So let's just quickly open this up and see what's in the little goodie pouch. The first item to come out is the beverage. There's always a coffee or a tea or something. This one is from the Cold Tusk Coffee Company. It's called Arctic Slaughter. It's a limited edition fresh roasted ground coffee. I don't know in terms of flavor. It doesn't tell us much about what the flavorings are, if there are any. They certainly don't need to be. I like just a black coffee. Smells pretty good though. This is a company that they haven't sent me before and I've never tried, but I gotta say, I love a good cup of coffee, particularly while reading some good books, so I'm always thrilled to get the little beverage inclusion. We also have the little paper that describes everything that was meant to be in this package. We have an autographed book plate from Cynthia Paleo, so that will go here. So Forgotten Sisters suddenly becomes an autographed copy. Always like that. I do collect autographed books. Next item we have, I'll be damned, we have another autographed book plate. This is Gwendolyn Keist, so that goes with The Haunting of Velkwood. So both of these have become autographed copies. Usually one of them comes with a book plate. It's rare that both do, and that makes me even happier this month. I have to say, the Nightworms people are making me a happy little bibliophile indeed. The next item is this sticker that says, "Read More Women." A lot of people have been talking about, of course, women's history and Women in Horror Month. So that's, I guess, the theme that goes along with these two authors and with that sticker. We also have the bookmark. We've got two hands that appear to be making a pinky promise with blood dripping from them. And the other side says Nightworms, March 2024, Blood Oath, which is the theme for this month. And then the last item is this magnet, fridge magnet. I tend not to put them on my fridge, but I'll stick it on the side of a filing cabinet or something. This one has a skull atop some books with candles and mushrooms. I have to say, I like all of those things. Books, skulls, candles, and mushrooms. And they seem, for whatever reason, to fit particularly well together. So that's the Nightworms package this March of 2024. The extra little inclusions are always nice, particularly the beverage, but the real star of the show is, of course, the books and the autographed book plates that go with both of these, making them autographed copies. Both books sound good. They are both from authors whom I've read before, although I've not read either of these particular books. Gotta say, I'm pretty excited to dig into both of them. And so that brings us to the end of another video. A brief one. These Nightworms videos tend to be quick because I can't really review the books until I've read them. But hopefully I've said something interesting and got your interest up in one or both of those books. Until next time, do be sure to do all the YouTube-y, likey, sharey, subscribe-y kinds of things that help me to grow my audience on this channel. Check out the What's It for links where you can find both of these books as well as my own books. And as always, take care and stay scared.